Am I really that much to handle? Breaking these niggas down like a camera. You don't really know you.
It is giving my kids just been loose with a colouring pen. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Vibes. It's your girl Rina. Today we are doing some makeup. We are playing with a brand that I've never played with before. Excuse the terminology, but this here is Trouble. This is the Troublemaker Genius palette. Now, I got a whole bunch of stickers too. So Troublemaker was at Superdrug Presents. As I said, it's not a brand that I've ever heard of. Not sure what the pigment payout's gonna be like. I'm not sure of anything at this point, but these are what the colors are looking like. Very bright, very up my street. And I know we're stepping out of summer and, you know, the summer colors are going, but we're just gonna play and see what we can come up with and just see how good this is. So stick with me. And we are going in with the Illumination Brow Illumination by L'Oreal. Let's grab my mirror so I can see what I'm doing. I really have been liking this. I mean, I don't really have to do much to my brows, in all honesty. However, I did botch this brow the other day. I was waxing and a piece of wax fell onto my brow, and well, you know what happened next. I gave myself a lovely bald patch, but it's nothing that we can't fix. And to fix it, I'm using this Makeup Revolution brow pencil thing, and all I'm doing is literally just filling in that little gap that's there. Very basic, very demure, and we can just brush that up like that. I also need to fill in this side. I don't know why, there's just like a little gap like right there, and I think that is from me over plucking. Whoopsie. But sorted. And if you're here from all those years ago, yes, I am still using makeup tape, because for your eye look, I just think it just makes your eye makeup pop. So we use the makeup tape. I do prefer this over the coloured ones. I feel like the coloured ones don't stick as well. And I always just like to make sure that we are even up in this bitch. Concealers of choice today are going to be Infallible 24-hour concealers. And I'm using shade Cool and shade Honey. So I'm using Honey just to sort of carve out the top part of my brow. And then I'm going to use the white more like on my lid, just so that those colours in the Trouble palette pop. And I always like to put a white base down for that said reason. I'm not going to worry too much about how perfect everything looks. It will come together. Trust the process. And I'm just going to take the white and put it all over my lid. Okay, don't worry if it looks messy. We are going to go in and blend this out. Okay. Now take your concealer brush. And we're just going to blend. You can start with the top bit. It doesn't matter if it gets a bit mottled. The main point is that you want the brightness on the lid. Okay, I know we're looking crazy. We're looking crazy. Trust the process. Makeup Revolution translucent powder. I know they've got a new version with where the lid, and it's just better. I need to try that. So I'm taking some setting powder and I'm just gonna set down my eyes very lightly. Okay, just like that. So this is the look. It's not finished, but let's do the other side. So I'm starting off with the pink, and this is a very bright pink. Pigment wise, it's not the pink is quite pigmented. I wouldn't say all the colors are as pigmented, should I say, because I do find that I have to, you know, go back in quite a lot with the pigment just to get the, you know, the payoff that I want. So I'm focusing this pretty much on the top and in my crease. Then I'm going to change the brush and I'm going to go in with the yellow. I find that this yellow is not pigmented at all. It's very, very light. I would go as far as saying that maybe this brand is targeted maybe for the younger teens, you know, those little girls that are now starting out and, you know, experimenting with makeup on the weekends or after school. Don't be wearing makeup at school, young ladies. It's not necessary. But yeah, I feel like I have to really like pack on the color. Even though like I have a white base, it's still not popping as much as I would like it to, but it's doing the job. See, I'm saying it's doing the job. Next up, I'm going in. Oh, and they have names. Sorry. So the pink is called Study Session. The yellow is called IQ 404. Next up, I'm going in with the orange, which is shade Extra Credit. I do actually like this shade. I feel like this and the pink are probably like the most pigmented. But again, I don't know, like I said, I don't really know much about the brand. I don't feel like I've actually seen them in Superdrug myself. So yeah, but I don't know, just going by the packaging and everything, I'm sticking to, I think it's marketed at the, you know, the younger kids. Next in, I'm going in with Know It All, which is like this purpley color here. And I'm cleaning my brush in between use, but I'm also going back and forth with the shades, you know, just to make sure that I've got a nice seamless blend going on, because, you know, it's all about the blend, baby. It's all about the blend. And then last but not least, I'm going in with the blue, which is shade Bookworm. And this is literally just focusing on the outer corner, just sort of bringing it into the outer edge just there, kind of like a wing. And so I start by blending it, and then I'm just gonna pack just so that I can get the pigment payout that I want. And I'm also gonna mix it in with a little bit of purple just to deepen that shade there in the corner, you know, kind of like that. And don't be afraid to go over like your colors if you want them to pop, or, you know, if the blend has been lost in transition, you just go back in and, you know, deepen up the blend, deepen up the colors, and smooth out those edges to make everything pop. I'm gonna go back in with that pink, which is Study Session, just to bring back some, like, you know, the brightness back here where I wanted it. Same on this side as well. Light fluffy motions at the top just to blend that into my brow. What we like to do is just a quick little look, make sure everything is how it should be looking. And then I'm going to go in and do a very thin liner, not too dramatic. And I'm going to go in with this Control Freak liquid liner and MUA Academy, or MUA Cosmetics. By the way, I just had a photo shoot with them the other day. Again. Now, doing wing liners, I I always used to suck at them, to be fair. I mean, it's not to say I've gotten any better now, but I am a lot better than I used to be. And doing a wing isn't about how quick you can get it done, okay? Just make sure it is how you want it. And yes, I still hold my breath. Because there is nothing worse like taking a breath and, oh, you mess it up because there's no going back. Well, I mean, there is, but it takes too much work. At this point, you can safely remove your tape. And this is how we should be looking. Okay? You have two options. You can put some lashes on. Just for today's purpose, I don't think I'm going to put any lashes on, but I am going to go in with a mascara. And this is the Milani Stay Put. No, it's not. This is the Milani highly rated tubing mascara. I almost need to buy a new one because this is for sure on its last legs. But this is hands down one of my favorite tubing mascaras just because of the length that it gives your lashes. Don't worry about that. We can fix it. That's one thing I know how to fix. A mascara fuck up. So, we're going to let that dry down while we make these lashes look as long and as false as possible. And what I love about this mascara as well is that it doesn't clump. Like, you don't get that, you know, clumpy effect, like lashes all stuck together and just looking awful. So I don't know if you can tell the difference between this eye and that eye with the lashes. Yeah. Again, don't worry about the black cock up. We'll fix that after. I'm just going to wait for it to dry down so it doesn't mess up anything else that it doesn't need to mess up. And that is my eyes done. Now how we are going to fix this little boo-boo is we're going to find the spoolie, okay? And you're just going to dust it away. Literally just scratch it away. Like that. And then if you have messed up the eyeshadow underneath, it's a quick fix. Just go back in with the colour and tap that back in there, okay? Now at this point, I would say, you know, skin prep is important, but I've already done a skincare video. If you haven't watched it, go and check it out. It's the last video called Glowing. Yes. But for now, we are just going to focus on this face. Now, what I have been trying lately is trying to achieve a matte base. Why? Because I just feel like the older I'm getting, maybe my skin type is changing. I mean, I've always been a sweaty Betty kind of gal, but like the face just be shining too much. So we've been trying to create a matte base. For today's primer, I'm using the Maybelline Poreless Jelly. My daughter actually won this at Superdrug Presents. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to unlock anything in the box. If you went to Superdrug Presents 2025, you'll know what you had to do to win the Maybelline goodies. So I'm basically putting this primer in the places where, you know, I sweat a lot, which is my forehead. Now, I know I'm not going to be doing any sweating tonight because I'm not going anywhere, but, you know, educational purposes. All right, so I put that there. And if you want, this is optional, but you can take yourself a gripping primer. This is the e.l.f. Power Grip with niacinamide. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that, and I am literally going to use that to prime my under eye. And I'm going to tap it in because I want all that grippiness to grip the makeup. Yeah, you're with me. And then whatever's left, you can just put it where you didn't put the pore blurring. So yes, you can mix your primers, okay? Now, I would say that my makeup application has changed a lot over the last few years. And one method that I love to do when it comes to my makeup is the underpainting method. So you basically put like your concealer, your contour, your bronzer down before your foundation. I'll show you what I mean. This is my bronzer of choice. It is from Makeup Revolution and it is very deep. So I'm just gonna start by putting that down just above, just over, like above my cheekbone, a little around the forehead. Yeah. No, that's probably a bit much, but you know, it's fine. We're gonna blend it all in. It's fine, okay? Now for the nose contour, I'm not gonna go too heavy just because of the type of look, but I'm gonna take the new Infallible 24-hour face sculpts by L'Oreal. I got this from an event the other day and I think these are brilliant. L'Oreal, come to the front. Where's my mirror? So these are really good at just helping to shape and define your face. The formula on them is lovely. You can like blend it in with your fingers. It's just so creamy. I love it. Taking like a clean fluffy brush just to like blend out the harsh lines. I'm gonna conceal and I'm using the LA Girl concealer and that is in shade Beautiful Bronze. Because it's, you know, it's more my skin tone. So I'm just gonna pop that down there. I don't want like too much, but I want enough that I'm gonna get the coverage that one desires. And I'm also gonna use the Makeup Revolution in Real Life Filter Finish in shade C13. This is just to add a little bit of brightness in the inner corner here. And to further sharpen that wing. And then you can also use this to contour the nose, okay, and the forehead. So I do like to, you know, include the first bit of my brow when I'm doing this. And the way I just had to dip back into this pot, I think I need some more, you know. You know something? I have been using Makeup Revolution. Come to the front, please. I've been using you for years. And you know what? I'm still not on your PR list. Why is that? Why is that? Anyway, I'm gonna spritz my face with some setting spray, and with that is the Co Beauty Ultra Lock Makeup Setting Spray. Again, another product I got at Superdrug Presents. And just start to like, not properly blend, but you know, blend out any harsh lines. Yeah, blend out any harsh lines. And then I'm going to take, now there are particular brushes that I like to use when I'm doing my face, you see. All right, then I'm going to take this brush and I'm just going to start to blend that concealer out. And I like to look up just so I don't have so much creasing, because my eyes really do like to crease. And then again on the other side, I like to start with the edges first because that helps to get like a nice seamless blend. And then I like to go up into the eye. It's okay to put a funny face, I promise. Now, we should really start from the top to the bottom, but, you know, as long as it's blended out, baby, it doesn't really matter. For the nose, I would probably recommend using like a beauty blender and just blend that in. You can also take it as well, if you got any like excess product, the blender's just gonna help to soak that up. So we should be looking something like this. At this point, I like to take my foundation brush. It hasn't got anything on it, but I just like to, you know, tap out that harsh line that sits here in this corner. We don't like harsh lines, you know, like that. Now for foundation, I am going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible 32 Hour Wear, Fresh Wear. And that is in shade 410. I think this is my shade. And I like to put it on my wrist first. Yeah, and then just warm it up on the back of my hand. Like that. I think this might be too dark for me, you know. And then apply it to my face. So this is a bit too dark for me, but not to worry, we will still make it work. So this is obviously like my holiday. I've just come off of holiday and I've got a lovely tan that is definitely giving this, yeah. So don't worry about anything. We will gotta fix the shading, all right? Okay. What I've just done is I've just mixed a little foundation concealer just to brighten back up that under eye here. Just to blend that in. Next, I'm gonna set my under eyes. So to do that, I'm just gonna take a triangle puff. Got some setting powder, and before I set, I just want to look up because I don't want to set with any creasing. I'm going to take some of the powder, yeah, onto the powder puff, and I'm just going to dab it off on my hand just to take off the excess, and I'm going to press it in. Not so much baking, but just to set, okay? And then we do that on the other side as well. Now you can take this down the nose to help with the contour if you like that. And then where you've put any concealer. So that would be the forehead. Around the mustache. I didn't put concealer there, but whatever. Now for the blush. To avoid having that like really, I really want to have a matte look. So I'm going to go in with these new, these are the new Urban Decay Face Bond blushes, and they are so pretty. This is shade Touch Me, and the other shade, this one here, is shade Slow Burn. So those are the two shades, and I'm gonna attempt to use both of them. Starting with the Slow Burn, I'm gonna literally pop this on the highest point of my cheek, just here. I'm gonna kind of like bring it into my temple as well, like that, and repeat. So on the highest point, just there. Don't be blush scared, okay? Don't be scared. Then I'm gonna take Touch Me, which is the other pink, and I'm literally gonna focus this just like on the lower part of my chin, like under my eye, my chin, just there, okay? And kind of putting it under my eye a little bit. And, you know, just to bring everything in together, just to put a little bit on the nose. I like a blush. Shh. When it comes to makeup, there aren't really any rules. And yes, there's, you know, you should do certain things in certain orders, but sometimes it doesn't happen like that. Take this example. I forgot to put on the powder bronzer. It's fine. We can do it now. And for that, I'm using the Made by Mitchell Pressed Curve Case in Deep. Those are the shades. Absolutely gorgeous. And so now I'm just going to mix two of them together, which would be a Rituation and Chocolate Charm. So I like to mix those two. Put this over where I put the cream powder before. Just like that. And then I can just go back over the blush and, you know, just put that back. So then it all blends in nicely. And I'm also gonna do the same on the nose. Just literally going over where I put the cream contour before. Okay. And feel free to go in and blend as you see fit. Just away, you know. Now, before I finish everything else, I am gonna go in with the NYX Professional Makeup Epic Ink Liner, and that is in shade Blue Trip. It is like the most gorgeous blue. It's just gonna give me a little pop for the base. Oh, nearly poked myself in the eye for the base that I'm gonna put down. And blue light, or like any light liner under the eyes, really just brings them out. So that's the liner. Right, so with the color, I kind of have to mix them a bit because I really wanted like a nice like bluey type green, which obviously it hasn't got. So I'm mixing A Star Effort and Bookworm. And then the yellow and green like in the middle here. Now this formula, like the is very powdery, which again makes me just believe that this is definitely a product for the bubbers. And I say bubbers, I mean, well, yeah, bubbers. I mean, compared to me, I'm in my 40s now, do you know what I mean? So that's how that's looking. I'm gonna add some mascara on my bottom lashes. Now for the bottom, I'm gonna use the Rimmel's Thrill Seeker mascara in black. I'm gonna spray my face down again. Oh no, I forgot something. I totally forgot. I have a no sweat setting spray from Troublemaker. Look at it. So I'm gonna set everything again. Oh, it does smell very sporty. So I'm just gonna let that dry down. And I'm literally thinking, what should we do on the lips? Something colourful to match? I don't know yet. I don't know yet. And I'm gonna take my, I know it looks really bad. This is my powder from Makeup Revolution. It is in shade Dark. And I'm just gonna use this just to powder down my face and my neck. And I know it's the wrong brush, but whatever. Now to highlight, and I am using my Beam Bright. I'm behind this. Oh! So that is the Beam Bright. It is the most gorgeous pink, like, ugh. So I'm going to use this and I'm going to highlight my brow bone just there. I literally just like put it in the arch. Then I'm going to highlight the middle of my nose just there. And then the tip. Just the tip. And I also like to go over my Cupid's bow because I don't have one. Then I'm going to take my little fan brush. I'm going to apply some just there. Like that, okay? Okay. Now for the lips, I'm just going to wing it. I've picked up this pout liner from Makeup Revolution in the shade Deepest Mauve. And we're just going to see what happens. The lips are bright. I think I can get away with the neon lights. And this is like a orangey color. Yeah. Give it a little smidge. Thinking like, do I want it glossy or not? And no, I did not forget to blend out. I think I'm gonna leave the lips matte, you know. Maybe just a tiny. And this is the L'Oreal Plump Ambition lip gloss. Just maybe in the like outskirts of it. Maybe that's gonna give me an illusion that I've got a bigger top lip. And here we have it. This is the look that I have done using the Troublemaker Genius Little Trouble palette, actually. It's called the Little Trouble palette, my bad. It's very bright. It is giving my kids just been loose of a colouring pen, but that's okay. I also used their No Sweat Sporty Setting Mist. As I said, it's not bad. I think, again, these products, and I know this isn't even meant to be me reviewing it, but since I'm here, I'm here. Yeah, I think if you've got like younger sisters, little cousins, I think these products will make a perfect Christmas present or, you know, birthday, any time of the year type gift. If you're somebody more into, you know, more pigmented products, maybe this isn't for you. If you're in your 40s like me, I mean, makeup doesn't really have an age, let's be honest. But I mean, even the names, you know, Troublemaker, should really be going around screaming, I'm a troublemaker at my big ripe age, do you know what I mean? But it's not bad, it's not bad. Like I said, the colours, it blends really well. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial video. Thanks if you've got this far. Thanks for sticking around. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, share this video, because, you know, it might be useful to somebody else, okay? It might be. Follow my other socials. I'm on Instagram at Rina Vibez with a Z, and I'm also on TikTok where I'm really, really active. Like to shop, I find the best stuff. Well, for me anyway. But yeah, no guys, thanks for rocking with me again, and I will see you next time. All right, bye for now.